I am Vic Vogel. During a discussion with a leader about why interpersonal communication is vital to outstanding leadership, the leader asked me why I was so focused on interpersonal communication's role in developing leaders. In responding to the leader, I asked the leader to think about what they were doing with me to attain a suitable answer to their question. The person asking me this question engages in interpersonal communication to satisfy their curiosity. They can't understand why I feel interpersonal communication is vital to leadership by simply isolating themselves in a room and thinking about what I would say about why interpersonal communication is essential to leadership. They can't possibly know how I feel without interpersonally engaging me to learn how I think about interpersonal communication and leadership. That is why interpersonal communication is vital to leadership. And the person said, well, I might just read the article you wrote about this topic, and I wouldn't be discussing it with you interpersonally. And I said, that means you don't understand interpersonal communication. Most people are not trained in interpersonal communication. You're still getting the information from me. It is in the article I wrote. So you're interacting with me. However, you're doing it through asynchronous written communication. It is my information. It is information from me, which is interpersonal interaction. By reading the article, you're eliminating much of the information transmitted during a face to face communication that people use to assign meaning to the words written. These things consist of voice tone and pitch, body posture, eye contact, gesturing, and the impact of even timing of when you write the article. These are perceived emotions while writing the article, which frequently impacts the meaning of what I have written, which you cannot verify because you're not with me when I write the article. Therefore, all you will learn from reading my article is the words I use to describe how I feel about leadership and interpersonal communication. You can't be sure the words represent the emotion because you can't ask the article questions. So if you rely on articles for your expertise, you assume you know how I feel about interpersonal communication's impact on leadership. But you're missing 80% of the article's meaning because you have eliminated my nonverbal communication, which can't be expressed in the article. If we discuss those words in person, face to face, you may get a totally different feeling or a more enhanced meaning of what I wrote. By asking me how I feel about interpersonal communications, impact on leadership, face to face, you'll be asking your questions while also sending your nonverbal cues, which will help me ensure that the words you use are congruent. This means I will receive and understand your questions clearly and correctly. In turn, my explanation will be more precise and perceived more correctly because I am explaining my rationale face to face using the same communication channels, and you will receive my nonverbal communication congruently. I will be more convincing than if you read this article. Now, think of your role as a leader with your people. If you accept the simplest definition, let's say the one that the leadership Center for Creative Leadership accepts, uh, which is we define leadership as a social process that enables individuals to work together to achieve results they could never achieve working alone. As a leader, you are engaged with other people. You're not alone. Therefore, you use interpersonal communication to provide direction, education, motivation, problem solving, and other leadership skills. The more proficient you are at interpersonal communication, the more effective you will be at applying leadership skills. This is why I do leadership assessments. When I ask people during those assessments, what thing would you like your leader to do better? I got the response well over 80% of the time to improve their communication. When I asked for examples that clarified communication, employees provided behaviors that describe interpersonal communication. Interpersonal communication permeates throughout the whole organization. Leaders who communicate effectively correlate highly to improved employee satisfaction, higher employee engagement, and better retention of quality employees. This is why interpersonal communication is quality of leadership. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more.